Hi guys, welcome to another Buzzin chat show here on Buzzin Pattaya, and as you can see above me there, it's a beautiful sunny day. It really is, and we've been blessed at the moment. We've been going through a really hot time lately, which is coincidental because one of the questions that I'm going to talk about today is about acclimatization. Yeah, we've had a really hot spell, and it's been great. I can't complain. Better than it raining, having to hire out canoes as you do down these roads when the soils turn into these full-on rivers. All right, so today I've been asked lots of questions, so thank you very much to everybody that sent in their question for today's show. It's much appreciated. And guys, if you've got a question you'd like me to drill down into and to answer in more detail than other on our live streams and stuff, please, drop me a comment, 247pattaya@gmail.com. And interestingly, let's see how we get on today as to how many little penis we get on our show. Now, if you're not sure what I'm referring to, it's these guys down on the road over here. They soup these trucks up they've got, and they bellow out black smoke, and they make such horrendous noise. So I call them a little penis, and for obvious reasons, because big car, small dick. Anyway, whatever. But let's see. I average about 20 a day, would you believe, up here on my balcony. I hear him going past, but anyway. All right, guys, so questions then. So Keith sent in a question asking about snakes in Pattaya. Do we have a lot of snakes in Pattaya? The answer is yes. They normally hang around in a lot of the bars. No, I shouldn't say that, sorry. Well, no, actually it's true. Be on your guard, guys. There's a lot of people out there that will befriend you that may have ulterior motives. Let's leave it at that. But in terms of actual snakes, surprisingly, Thailand's got about 150, 160 odd snakes, different species of snakes here. So they are very common. You do get them in Pattaya, particularly over on the east side of Pattaya, because it's a lot more greenery and a lot more fields and stuff. So obviously the snakes have a better opportunity to sit around in their habitat. But be very careful. Certainly if you do see a snake, don't approach it. Normally what happens if you see a snake, the Thai people will deal with it because they're used to dealing with it on a day-to-day basis, and we do have some very poisonous snakes out here. So just be very careful, because you could end yourself up in a bit of bother. And be very careful when you see piles of rubbish and leaves, because that's generally where they tend to hang out, because they blend in, and they can be caught off guard. They don't move around, especially if you're near them. They'll just stay still, and then of course they'll strike, and that's it. Then you've got to get yourself down to the hospital. So be very careful. And I think we have the Russell viper and the Malaysian viper. Both of those are very dangerous snakes, so be very careful. But in general, certainly if you're in the city centre, you might be unlucky and come across a snake, but it's very unlikely. But if you are on east side of Pattaya, over across Sukhumvit Road on the dark side, well then yeah, you will find that you will come across a snake. You might see a few in the road that sadly have been killed where the trucks have run over them as they've not got across the road in time. And the soy dogs, they won't take any prisoners. My dog back home in Karat, August, he's lethal. I think he's done about 12 or 13 snakes now. He's done over 20 cats and over 20 chickens. I mean, he really is. Everyone talks about him in the village. He's a crazy man's dog. But at the end of the day, it's good for me because obviously he protects the family, and I can relax when I'm not there because I know that he is our supersonic guard dog. All right, question then. Greg sent in the question asking, what are 3 main expat areas in Thailand that I would recommend visiting away from Pattaya? It's a good question, Greg, to be fair, because there's more than 3, to be honest with you, and every kind of city here does have an expat community, albeit maybe you don't see it or you don't realise it, but there is a lot of expats here. So it really depends on what you're looking for. I mean, if you go to Bangkok, obviously there is a large expat community there, but predominantly most of those people in that community are working. They're normally people that have got a job in the city centre, working for a finance company, and whatever kind of like big corporate companies. And that's tending to be like the shirt and tie brigade. But there is a very big expat community, but it's not kind of like the expats you find here, because here in Pattaya and Jomtien in particular, most people are retired. So you've got a difference there. But Bangkok, you know, Bangkok's good, and the nice thing about Bangkok is if you are here in Pattaya, you can always nip up the road, up the 7 motorway, go into Bangkok, stay there for a couple of nights, have a look around, and then head back again if it's not for you. So you know, there is an expat community in Bangkok, and with all of these areas that I'm mentioning, you know, guys, have a look around, check out for Facebook and other things, and try and join their communities if this is something you're looking to investigate. Likewise, Chiang Mai. Now, Chiang Mai is the north of Thailand. It's a long drive. I wouldn't recommend it from Pattaya up to there. Most people tend to fly, to be honest with you. But Chiang Mai is more of a digital nomads kind of expat community. So there's a lot of younger people there, a lot of people that are into this digital world that we evolve in. So again, you know, they may, if you're an older person, perhaps that's not the kind of expat community you're looking for. So, you know, it's horses for courses, really. You know, Bangkok's about business. Chiang Mai is about the digital world. There's a huge expat community up there. So, you know, again, that's another alternative. And of course, Korat, where I am, I mean, my home is about 15 kilometers outside of Korat. And Korat's got a mix of all kinds of expats. You know, you've got a lot of people that are retired. You've got a lot of people that have families there that are working remotely. You've got people that work offshore and then they come back and live up there because it's a much quieter way of life than what it is here in Pattaya and certainly in Bangkok. So there are expat communities around, and you know, again, Khon Kaen, Udon Thani, Buriram, Royat, these have all got expat communities, and Phuket, you know, Phuket itself. The reason I didn't mention Phuket as a community is because predominantly it's mainly a tourism hub. But having said that, there's still an expat community there. So I guess really the answer to your question, Greg, is, you know, just have a look around, mate. You know, the one thing that I love about this city is, or this country is, you don't need to fix yourself in one location. You know, back in, like when I lived in London, normally most people, wherever you live, you've got a home that is where you've built, you know, it's bricks and mortar and you're pretty much fixed. And to up sticks and go and move is a big deal. Most people here tend to rent. There are, of course, a lot of people that own houses, but what I'm talking about is people that come here. You can rent long term, like a month, 3 months, 6 months. If it's not for you, just move on. So if you are coming here, Greg, and you've not been here before, I would highly recommend just having a look around, mate. Don't be frightened to grab your rucksack, grab your suitcases, and just have a trek around, you know. And guys, you know, if you're watching this video and you are part of an expat community, perhaps in a place in Thailand, please, you know, share what's it like. I mean, I don't know, you know, I don't know what the expat community is like in Chiang Mai because I've never lived there. Likewise with Phuket, I've been there, but I've been there as more of a tourist than I have as someone that's living there. So, you know, guys, if you do know of these places, please, you know, drop a comment below if you are aware of a good expat community in a particular part of Thailand. Oh yeah, now this one here, Rodeo 7 said, where is the best breakfast in Pattaya? My lord, that is just a car crash of a question. Because you've got to ask yourself about, are you looking for a breakfast that gives you good quantity of food? Are you looking for a breakfast that's good quality of food? Are you looking for a breakfast that's price orientated? I mean, my friend, that's just a mental question to ask me, because in all honesty, there's not really a right answer. You know, we did a poll a long time ago now, and Cheap Charlie's in Soy Bacau, Phil, he won that competition, and maybe we'll run another one towards the end of this year when things are hopefully returning back to some kind of normality. But you know, his breakfast was very thorough. You know, it was a typical English breakfast. I think it was 89 baht. But the thing I liked about the Cheap Charlie breakfast was they didn't compromise on quality for the cost. You know, it was a reasonably good breakfast for what you're paying. I mean, 89 baht, come on. You know, if you live here, you will appreciate that to go into like some of these expat food shops, a pack of sausages alone will cost you more than that. So if you want a really good quality breakfast, again, you know, there's a lot of places out here where you can go and get a much better quality in terms of like proper English style food. But you're going to pay a premium for it. You know, it's not going to come cheaply. Like the Welcome Inn on the dark side, which is one of my favourites, they do a fantastic breakfast, but it's 220 baht. So people go, oh, I'm not paying that. I can get nearly 3 breakfasts for that in Cheap Charlie's. Yes, you can. But my point being is the breakfast that you get over there in the Welcome is quality. You know, tropical is another one, quality. You know, they're really good quality breakfasts. So if you want something you're just going to shove down your throat to soak up a hangover, well then I would suggest you go for cheap and cheerful. If it's your meal for the day until perhaps later on in the evening, like me, I only eat 2 times a day. So breakfast for me, I mean, and again, I don't really eat Falang food, to be honest with you. It's more of a treat than it is anything. So my breakfast would be like kapau mulsap. So I'll eat a Thai rice dish, or I might have a soup like kway teow mu, something like that. I'll eat a soup. But for those of you guys that are not particularly happy with the Thai food, well, if you are looking for a breakfast, you know, kind of like give yourself a guideline as to what you want. And guys, you know, again, you know, this is why I love this channel so much. You know I can say to you guys, please recommend your breakfast and price. You know, where did you go and how much was it and what was it like? You know, just say like, I don't know, Cheap Charlie's, 89 baht, good value. I don't know, Hungry Hippo, whatever it is in there, 129, I don't know what it is, but let's just say 129 baht, you know, good quality. You know, just drop a comment below, guys, and maybe we can all learn something from this. Because, you know, as I say, unfortunately, I don't go around every place and eat a breakfast. Because number one, I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm cycling my nuts off every day, like 50k in this heat. So, you know, it's defeating the object. And number two, I don't honestly eat a lot of Falang style food, of Western food. It's not really my style. I'm more of a Thai person. All right, so now if you look behind me there, see the cloud line, see how beautiful it is. It really is lovely today. And Steve sent in a question about how long does it take you to acclimatize, particularly to the heat, as he is a ginger. And I think really, I mean, obviously I do appreciate that ginger people, or ginger haired people should I say, tend to suffer with the sun a little bit more than others. But in general, I would say, you know, number one is cover up, guys. And I know sometimes I get some grief, people saying, why you not got a hat on? Guys, I've been here 10 years. I've lived all around the world. I've spent a lot of time in a lot of hot countries. In all honesty, I don't really feel the heat. Yes, I get hot and sweaty. Of course I do, because it is hot. But I don't suffer with the sun, as in like sunburn and stuff like that. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. But if you've come from, say, the winter in England and you've come over here, you're going to get fried. You are going to get fried like a crispy chip. You really are. So you've got to be very careful. You know, sun factor 50, wear hats, wear as much sunscreen, keep applying the sunscreen as possible. And I know I sound like, you know, your mum or dad, but it's true, guys. You know, I've seen guys walking around here like beetroots, and I'm thinking, oh, damn, you know, you are going to be sore. And let's be honest, and I'm sure you've all, I mean, I had it years and years ago when I went on a cruise around the Caribbean. On the first day, we boarded in Southampton, and we got a boat over towards the Caribbean, and we had a fantastic time, my wife and I. But the Saturday, we boarded on the Friday. On the Saturday, I sat up on the top deck, and I read a book all day. It was a cloudy day. My Lord, I got fried. I mean, like proper fried. To the point was, because it was our wedding and it was our honeymoon, I was invited onto the captain's table with my wife. But I couldn't go because I couldn't put any shoes on because my feet were like balloons. You know, it really was bad. So all I'll say to you, sorry, Steve, is, excuse me. All I'll say to you, Steve, is this. You know, just take as much precaution as you possibly can. Because there is nothing more than a holiday spoiler than having sunburn. You can't sleep, your skin itches, it starts peeling. Oh, it's awful, it's awful. So, you know, can you acclimatise? Yes, if you're here a long time. If you're here for a holiday, say a month, no. I personally, I don't think you will acclimatise. I think you will struggle every day. But virtually every single room I know here has air conditioning or fans. I would look for a room that has air conditioning, particularly if you're not used to the heat. So then when you do go back indoors, you can flick your aircon on and you know, you can relax. Especially if you're in a hotel, you know, it's all included. So bung your aircon on. Don't be shy in using the aircon. Rank it up, put it on as cold as possible, and just enjoy that part of you know, your room. But acclimatization, you know, I've been here 10 years. I'm pretty level with the heat now. It doesn't really affect me. Yes, of course I sweat. I mean, you know, I'm sweating a little bit now, but it's not a sweat that's uncomfortable, it's just a sweat that happens. So, you know, it's a bit like being in court in front of the judge, and you start sweating then, and he's got aircon going on. Anyway, so hopefully that answers your question there, Steve. Brobond, right, Brobond said, what do I think is Thailand's best attribute when it comes to the people? Well, do you know what, it's a good question. I like this question, and I've given this some thought before we came on camera, because there's a lot of things that I love about the Thai people here, but I think the biggest thing for me is their acceptance. That's the thing I think for me is what I like most, and I mean it in this way. Like when I was back in England, people were very critical. How big is your house? How much money do you earn? What car do you drive? What clothes do you wear? Are they designer tags? And all that other BS that goes on that used to drive me mental. And also as well, is it attracts fake friends, because, oh, is that a little penis? It's a motorbike. We'll give him a semi. We'll make him a semi. But yeah, you know, it attracts fake friends, because if people, you know, back in England perceive that you've got a lot of money or whatever, they want to be your friends in general. You know, I could take you to places like Xenon's in London, nightclub, you know, where the rich and famous used to go, and I was fortunate enough to go in there a few times, and it was surrounded by gold diggers. You know, they say the girls here are bad. Well, I'll tell you what, you want to go out of London and check out the gold diggers there, you know what I mean? They really are. They're outside checking out the number plates on the Porsches and the Mercs, going in saying, oh, my boyfriend's left his car behind, can you tell me which guy it is? I need to get in the car. Oh yeah, it's the fellow over there, he's over there. Where, you know, they'll come up with all kinds of stories to get whoever's got that car, and then they're going to go and stand there going, hello. You know, so, but the thing I like about Thai people is they are just, and again, I need to separate this, not in Pattaya, okay, not in the tourist areas, because obviously you're bringing a suitcase full of money, and they're going to quite expectedly want to try and relieve you of some of that money. But if you go back to like where I am in Expat, you could wear whatever you want. It's irrelevant. You know, a lot of the girls, they'll wear these beach shorts, these big long, what do you call, Bermuda shorts. They don't dress to impress. They're not interested. They don't care. The families don't judge you. It really is just a very, very chilled out and very acceptable lifestyle, whereas you are, and they don't expect anything else. You know, I ride around on a rusty old mountain bike when I go back home, and people don't bat an eyelid. You know, they just don't bat an eyelid. So I think for me, Brobon, I think I like the fact that you're accepted no matter what. And yes, of course, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but they still want your money. Well, you know, isn't that the same around the world in many ways? I'm just being honest. In many ways, isn't that the same? You know, like I said, go into Xenon's and you think the girls are in there because they think that you're a labourer on a building site. You know, and no disrespect to labourers on building sites. I've been there and done that. It's hard graft. But my point being is, they go in there thinking all the rich and famous are in there, and why are they in there? So let's not say that the Thais are after all your money, because hey, you know, horses for courses. But I think I like their acceptance. You can be who you are, what you are, where you are. They don't care. They'll just come up and they'll be polite to you, as I say, back up in the villages. All right, so last question. Alan Jack says, is every Thai girl relationship about money, or is there a relationship available here with real love? Oh, I mean, you know, the way I can explain this is like, think about it this way. If you're going to go shopping for a designer handbag, would you go shopping in a cheap knockoff market stall? So if you do, and that cheap designer knockoff breaks, and you only paid a £5 for it instead of 500 quid, what are you going to say? Well, it was only cheap rubbish anyway. Fair comment? So if you're coming to Thailand because you've got an affection towards Asian women and you're looking for a more stable, more long-term relationship that's not money orientated, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I would say looking down soy 6 probably isn't your best bet. Just saying. So, you know, of course you can. I mean, I'm very, very lucky, you know, my missus is amazing. She's absolutely amazing. But the point being is, guys, it's out there, but it depends on where you look, and it depends on what your expectations are. And irrelevant of where you find your newfound love, 95% of the time, don't forget that there is a network of communication here. So by that, what I'm saying is, if a girl comes down from, say, Korat, and she's used to working on the farm, and she comes down here and she sees all you 2-week millionaires, and you know, as I've said this before, I'm not criticizing you, I respect you for spending your money, you've worked hard for it, but my point being is this: the picture that you paint for this 2-week millionaire takes that girl's logical thoughts to being, well, he's obviously got a lot of money, and this guy's got a lot of money, they must all have a lot of money, so maybe I want to get a lot of money. So yeah, are they wrong for feeling the way they feel? I don't think so. So of course, when their friends come down here, then go back up to Korat and they start building these big houses, etc., etc., of course expectations change. Of course they do. You'd be an idiot not to. But my point being is, there is love out there, of course there is. But there's a lot of relationships that are built on money and financial transactions and expectations. I think the moral of this story is, make sure wherever you go shopping, that you're shopping in the right areas. Because as I said before, you know, there's a lot of big building networks up in Bangkok, you know, where there's a lot of office workers, etc., etc. So the likelihood of that kind of person working in Soi 6 is probably a little bit less. So therefore then their expectations of financial monetary rewards will be less. I don't know, my friend. But anyway, there you go. So have a think about what I've said. Those are the questions, guys. Thank you so much for sending them in. Thank you to you guys that have been sending in your stories. I am going to share some of those. Don't worry, I will be changing names in it, but they're quite funny. And I want to do this because I just thought it's good. You know, you guys experience so many different stories, so many different things. You know, I share what I do, but you know, it's boring in a lot of ways. But you know, thanks for that, guys. Thank you to everybody that took part in the quiz. It was a great laugh, and the responses have been brilliant. I've really enjoyed reading them. Thank you so much. And some of you have done exceptionally well. Others, as they say in school, must try harder. But I will do this on not a lot, but I will do one a month where I'll bang out a questionnaire, and let's just see how we get on. And maybe next one I'll do, maybe we'll try your luck on other areas, other aspects. But thank you so much for taking part. Really was cool. And that's it from me. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow is the live stream, 5 a.m. Bangkok time. And then on Sunday we've got the live stream at 5 p.m, which is a lot more suitable for me because it's in the evening. But that's it, guys. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Please, as always, remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Check out our members area. Please join, guys. Lots and lots of people are joining, and I'm going out speaking to lots of restaurants and bars, etc., and asking and negotiating discounts for you. So when you show your digital ID card, the savings you get there will more than adequately cover the cost of your membership. And guys, join our Telegram group. Lots of people in there, like-minded people, just like you guys, all with a love of our magical city here. And again, you know, these kind of questions I'm answering, you can pop them into the Telegram group, and lots of people will reply and give you guidance and advice based on their own experiences. All right, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. And please, as always, guys, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.